everybody. Amy from Life Redesigned, where we grow through what we go through. Today, I wanted to share with you how to build a business system in 5 simple steps. First, before we get started, just give me a yes in the comments if systems make sense to you and you've got a system already going in your business. Drop an exclamation mark in the comments if you're excited to be jumping on this live to learn more about how you can create a system in your business and adjust what system you have going on in your business. All right, let's get to it. The very first way to build a business system in 5 simple steps. Number 1 is to identify the current process or processes that you have in your business. So what you want to do is you want to write down each process that's currently in place and how it's currently being executed. So if you have, let's say you own a retail store, and like what is the process of how somebody purchases a piece of clothing from you? Write down that process. What is the process of how somebody comes in to work their shift? What is that process? So you want to write down each process that you have and how it's currently being executed. The second part within that is you want to make sure that you include each person that's involved in that in the current process, like what their responsibilities are, how much they're getting paid, their tasks, anyone that's in training within that. And then you also want to include how much time the process takes. So going back to that example, how long does the process take for somebody to typically come in, purchase something from your store, check out? What happens during that process? When they come in, is there a greeter? When they are searching around the store, does somebody get assigned to them to help them find their size? Does somebody else check them out? So what people are involved in that? And then how much time does that process typically take? And then within that, who all is getting paid within that? Do you have 3 employees getting paid? What typically would the lights cost to keep the lights on during this process, et cetera, et cetera. And then lastly, you just want to make sure that you include how much revenue that you make from each process. So during this process, I make this. During this process, we make this. You want to make sure that you have your numbers really tied down to the nitty-gritty of how much you're making during those. Number 2, you want to make sure to document the process. So the first one is to identify it. Here are my processes. Here's what's going on within all that. And then you want to document it. So how you do this is, how you could do this is you could step back and watch the process happen. You want to make sure the process is organic. So, what you wouldn't want is, okay, I need you to come in and buy a sweatshirt from the store. So that wouldn't be necessarily an organic process of your retail store of how that would actually happen. You want to make sure that you just allow it to be organic. And within that, you want to make sure that you're able to just witness and watch the organic process of how that's going on and record everything that's happening during that process. So you want to make sure that you're recording anything that could happen, that might happen, anything that you see, anything that you're feeling, just recording everything within that process. And then number 3 is that you're going to evaluate the process. So you're going to evaluate how well did my key players do within this process. If you're the only key player, how well did you do within this process? Can any time be cut off? Can this process by chance take less time? Do you need to adjust any prices based on the time and the way that this process happened? Is the process effective? Does it work? Is it actually working? Or while you witness the process, did it completely go sideways and it didn't work? So make sure that you are evaluating that and you take that next step. And then number 4 is you're going to restructure. So you want to restructure. You want to set new goals in place. You want to assess if new key players are needed. Let's say that you have somebody training in your business right now. You have somebody you have a trainer. So I have trainers in my business. So I want to make sure that I witness, I go through identifying what my process currently is for them to train, like how it works, all the key players within that. And then I document that. I'm going to allow it to naturally happen. I'm going to take that of what I witnessed and I'm going to evaluate that. How well did it go? Did this person do a good job? Would I have done things differently? Do I feel like she effectively made this process go well and we did the job that we were supposed to be doing? And within that restructuring, do I need to set goals in place? Maybe you don't. Maybe the process went really well. But if I need to set goals in place, figuring out what those goals would be, and then also assessing, did my trainer do a good job? Did they not do a good job? And I need to really effectively find a new trainer. Okay. And then number 5 is just to finalize those things. So you want to finalize those new goals that you had set in place. Okay. You want to make sure to finalize that. You want to double check for anything else that you missed. Again, just checking for loopholes, checking for anything that you missed in documentation. It's really not a bad idea to actually go back to number 2 and allow the organic process to happen again, and for you to witness that, to be able to check, to have a stronger checkpoint for loopholes in that. And then you want to set a date for a new beginning for the new process to happen if you are going to adjust the process/system. Okay. So all of this really happens in I mean, it doesn't go this quickly. We're talking about it quickly, but depending on the process of what you have, you want to make sure that you go through each of these steps for each process that you have. Now, depending on how big your business is, you might have a lot of processes in place. I have, within my big system of what we have, I have a lot of processes that need to be followed. So I have a lot of ways that I need to be able to witness. And that's just, things that I need to be able to witness. And that's just going to take time. So you want to make sure that you're also evaluating how much time how much time you're taking to be able to evaluate all of those. And you want to make sure that you're doing it in a way that's not, you're not going into like burnout mode just for evaluating your processes, depending on how many they have. You don't have to do them all at once. You can just go one by one. In fact, I'd really recommend like focusing on one process, getting that strong, moving on to the next, getting that strong. This whole entire thing is going to help you build a strong system. It's going to help you build strong processes within your business to create a really solid system. So here's your homework. I want you to write down your current business process that you're going to be working on, that you're going to be evaluating on. You don't have to tell me the process because you don't have to get into detail, but just shoot me a comment or shoot me a little message in the comments below of which process you're going to actually take a peek at this week. And I want you to report back to me. Let me know what you see and let me know how it worked out. Okay. All right. Thanks for tuning in, and we will talk to you next time at Life Redesigned. See you later.